My name is Ashish. Thank you so much for coming to our workshop. Our workshop is called What Will the World Look Like If It Was Designed by Women? I am a plus one. It's going to be run by these three women predominantly. I run a brand strategy and design studio here in Bangalore called Small Town Folk, and I'm accompanied by these three wonderful people.
Hi, I'm Shalini. I run a behavioral design studio called Three Big Things, and this is Revati, associate partner with us, and we're all looking forward to have some fun and like breaking some mindsets and barriers today, figuring out what it would look like if women designed the world.
And I'm Gurpreet. Ashish and I work together. We run a brand design studio called Small Town Folk, and I'm the design lead there. So yeah, let's get started. Let's see what the world looks like if it was designed by women.
We are very excited about the ideas that are going to come out from here. And yeah, we take it from there. I'll use the ticker.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I shouldn't be close like this. Yeah? Okay, guys. When we look around on a daily basis, it's very rare to find objects, applications, experiences that are really designed by women, for women. And the idea of today's workshop is to start a conversation around this. What we want to do is actually spark your imagination, bring your ideas to the table and see where it goes forward. During this workshop, you will see interactive exercises which is going to be run by all of us. And we will try and come up with ideas that will help us reimagine this world in a way that you would like it. All the women and non-binary folks in this room, right? To start off, this is a very interesting example. How many of you know? Okay, we're going to wait for the music to turn down for a second. Okay.
Do you want to get up and dance till the music stops? And then we'll continue. This is the unplanned calorie burning section of the workshop. We didn't plan it, but we can use it.
It's definitely not our kind of music, but yeah, we can join in. Okay, is this better? Can you guys hear me? Okay. One of the interesting examples that actually sparked this imagination was from this book called Invisible Women. You guys should look it up. It's also a podcast. In Sweden, they did an interesting exercise where they realized that there was a lot of snow clearing that was happening in cities, but it was happening in the outside of the perimeter and not in the interior roads. The reason was the council planning and the city planning was predominantly led by men, and men travel in a very simplistic manner. They go from point A to point B, which is work, and then come back to point A back in the evening. Unfortunately, they did not think about what would the world and the women would want. And women travel very differently. They go to work, they go pick up their grandparents, they in the middle also pick up their kids, they also go to the groceries. So there's a lot of different kinds of commute that they do, which is more towards the interior of the city. And that sparked their imagination. And they said, hey, how can we solve this problem? And they looked at data and they realized that they need to solve this by understanding what women's needs are. And once they started solving this, they realized, once they started doing this, they realized that a lot of this actually helped the healthcare system of the organization, of the city. And they saw a lot of less accidents because women were not on the road. The snow was cleared. And they were not actually going to the hospitals enough. And that really eased the pressure and reduced the cost that the city was undertaking. So when the city is reimagined in the way that women really would want it, it not only is easier and more inclusive, it is also very, very cost effective. So that was one very interesting example. I think Shalini and Gurpreet also have other examples to share.
We all have our favorites from this set.
Yes. This one's a particular favorite of mine. I'm someone who loves to drive, and another example in this book, Invisible Women, was how cars are predominantly designed keeping men in mind. So when car manufacturers think of who's driving in the driver's seat, it's a man that they first imagine. So even the prototypes that are created to test the car for a car crash, it uses that of a male body, which is pretty surprising because women equally drive cars as well. If you think of the pedals in your car, they're designed to be further away from the average height of a woman. Your seat belts are also not designed for women. They don't account for our breasts. And a lot of this shows how much bias there is in something that all of us use in a daily basis. An interesting insight that came out of this research was women are 47% more likely to be seriously injured in car crashes. The solution that some car companies did look at was, okay, let's try with a female prototype, but the female prototype was basically the male prototype, but 40% scaled down. So it still didn't actually account for the female anatomy.
Heart attacks. We're not talking about heart throbs here. And again, with this kind of research extends, I don't know if you have any researchers either for design or otherwise in the room, but this extends to how life-threatening the lack of data, disaggregated data can be, right? So it talks about what are the symptoms of heart attacks. I mean, you would have heard you have a pain in the left side, it's excruciating, these early signs. But the signs in heart attacks for women are nausea, extreme fatigue, which is actually not recognized, and even if it's recognized and you go to a doctor with it, they'll dismiss it as something else. Because not only are women not trained to recognize symptoms of heart attack, even the doctors are not trained to recognize symptoms of heart attack because they're called quote-unquote atypical symptoms, even though they can happen to 50% of the population. They are still considered atypical symptoms of heart attack because typical symptoms of heart attack happen only to... Exactly. So, this kind of oversight, and even in the regular medical pedagogy, imagine being trained to recognize only certain kind of symptoms because not only, it's because they've not been tested on different genders. Forget like men and women, what about people who've had gender reaffirmation surgery, transgender women or transgender men? If you don't even know what happens to 50% of your population, how are you as a medical practitioner going to be trained to recognize quote-unquote atypical symptoms of illness, let alone heart attack, for people of all genders, right? So these are the kind of questions we're going to be exploring as we go through the workshop today. This one's a favorite. You will experience this and Gurpreet's going to talk about it.
I'm sure all of us have had this experience in our offices where the floor's too cold, we are fighting for the AC remote, 17 is too cold for us, 24 is the optimum temperature. I think this is a common thread across women who work in closed office spaces because the base temperature that was set for indoor temperatures was based on a 40-year-old man. We're all young women and we all have, I'm sure we're all, we have low iron counts, things like that. Nobody is really accounting for the fact that these spaces are shared by both women and men equally, and the basal body temperature that's set has to account for both men and women in this experience.
And I also want to add that clothing has a big role to play, right? I mean, you don't see a man wearing a strappy top or a sleeveless dress for whatever reason, but those are our clothing choices that we have to forego because we know, oh, it's going to be too cold. I'm going to be in a conference room all day, or I have to attend this, really important meeting. So I will have to choose clothing mindfully, not something that I look good in or something that I feel confident about, but something that's going to keep me warm throughout that very important meeting that I'm going to attend. So it not only affects like our physical discomfort, but also our mental and emotional levels of discomfort, right? This temperature setting in the offices. I personally remember having like a panic attack in the office, and I thought, oh no, the AC is too cold. That's what it was. My hands and legs became cold, and I thought it was because the AC was too cold. So that's how deep these things can run. Because so you're so used to having the temperature so low that you're uncomfortable that you didn't realize that you were having a panic attack. So, there are layers to peel, and those are the things that we want ourselves to become present to as we go through this process.
Yeah.
This is the last one? Oh, yes. So, going back to medical examples, right? So, drug trials exclude women. Guess why? Without looking at that. Because we have periods, and that will mess with the data. So, if you cannot do a drug trial on a standard base, which is the 40-year-old male, most likely cisgender, white, Caucasian. That's the level of medicines that we have prescribed for everybody. So you actually don't know whether your crocin or, meftalspas is actually designed for a woman's body who's probably 40 kilos and is on her menstrual cycle and probably has a lower iron count like Gurpreet mentioned, right? So those are the kind of things that we absolutely have no data about. And the flip side of this is there are many medicines that could actually help women but are probably disregarded during the course of research because they do not work on men. So the other side also exists, right? So when we have a disregard for disaggregated gender disaggregated data, this is the flip side, and it's like heads you win, tails you lose on both sides. We don't know if the medicines that are actually designed for quote unquote the general population applies to women, and we also lose medicines that did not work on men, therefore they don't know if it would work on women or not at all. So these are all the kind of examples that we collected, just to give you a sense of what we want to presence ourselves to as we go through the workshop.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We'll start the workshop. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Or we just start the workshop. Yeah. After this. Yeah.
Okay, so if you see on your left, we have some spaces kind of demarcated for you to kind of make this workshop a bit more engaging as well. What you will see is 2 chart papers on each panel, one which highlights personal, one which highlights professional, and there are a few roles we've defined, keeping us as women, non-binary folk. There's different scenarios like a pregnant woman, a senior working woman professional who is climbing up her career ladder. There is an example of a gay couple. So take about 2 minutes, I would suggest, walk up to the chart papers, look at the examples that we
Come walk around, it'll be nice.
Yeah. Sure.
Oh, you want to do intention? Yeah.
Yes, before we get to that, we will set the intention for the workshop. Yeah. Before we move to the section, we would want you to just go through the examples that we have and look at each of the roles. Fill in scenarios that you are familiar with. If you have a particular lived experience that suits that particular role, or if you know of someone who has a personal or a professional experience for that role, add that. If you think we are missing a role, please feel free to add that as well. We have some post-its, pens and papers for you. But that's the first part of our workshop for today.
So we'll have instructions for the rest of the steps as we go along. But before we start, we know that you probably have come in, through this really confusing maze of hall 1, 2, 3 and lots of chaos, probably traffic on the way. So this is something that we do to kind of reset our brains. It's called an intention setting exercise. So I invite all of you to just pull out a piece of paper and a pen. You might have it in your
Does everybody have
conference kit.
Do you guys need pen,
Any
paper?
Piece of paper and a pen is fine.
Okay.
If you don't have it, we'll give you some post-its or something like that. Just raise your hand if you don't have
They
paper
have, no?
and pen.
I think everybody has. You want some pen, paper? You're
You
okay?
don't need elaborate
pen, paper.
stuff, just, A5, A6, whatever, small sheet of paper. Everybody ready? So, simple instructions, right? You're going to draw your intention for the next 1 hour. What is it that you want to take away from, the hour that you're going to spend with us doing this workshop? It could be I want to learn something new. It could be I just want to sit down and rest for a bit. It could be I want to have a mind-blowing aha moment. It could be I want to make new friends. It could be I want to be more present when I leave this workshop. Whatever it is for you, which is the intention for this next 1 hour, draw it. Don't write it, because it's going to be a creative exercise, and drawing activates a different part of your brain. You don't have to be a Picasso. Stick figures are great. We all suck at drawing over here. Confession. So please, go ahead. Don't write. Draw your intention for the next 1 hour. We're going to do the same. And you just take a minute. No elaborate
Give me one pen, paper.
drawings.
No pen. Thank you.
one word. This is such a shy audience. She forgot how to put pen to paper. Lovely. So it reminded you how to put pen to paper. Yes.
Can I start, Charlie?
Please go for it.
I have drawn how to dream.
Ooh.
Let's all dream today.
Gurpreet, do you have one?
I drew one with a stick figure holding a globe with a flag that says women.
Nice. Mine was a bunch of balloons being released with, like, like wish in a bottle. Mine was balloons with wishes being released into the world. A woman with a cape. Ooh,
Oh, wow.
I like that.
Okay.
Yes?
Cape.
So I'm thinking of like a sun coming out of the clouds because I hope to be inspired today. So my mind block is just scratched out there.
Super.
Nice. Anybody else?
Yeah, one last person who wants to share what their drawing was about.
I don't know. I was thinking of drawing, but I don't know. So mind is clustered with all this traffic about so much things, even if we are at work, which I want to streamline and something. Yeah.
Great. With that, we're going to follow Gurpreet's instructions now and get started with the workshop part of the workshop. Oh yeah, you have one more. I see woman power pushing her up like that.
I drew a girl driving and the seatbelt is accommodating her breasts because I drove all the way here and it was not comfortable.
More power to you. Can I have just one, apart from Ashish, non-woman point of view?
So like I just made a doodle which is like a surprise face because there's a lot of information which is new for me.
Lovely.
Very
To be
cool.
surprised. Yeah, that's a great intention.
Okay, so we'll move to that side of the room. You'll see some chairs with some prompts for you. So each chart paper has these little pieces of paper that say what. So what to describe an experience for that particular role, and what you write the experience and I felt. So what feeling did you feel? Helpless? Did you feel grateful, despondent, hopeful? So there are some examples for you here. Come on over.
And
go through each.
don't sit with people you came with.
Yeah,
Okay. Otherwise, there'll be no fun. Go sit at we have 15 seats over there. So let one lot of you just go sit down. Don't sit with somebody you know. On your left and right, have people you don't know. And then we'll bring more seats once these seats get filled.
Yeah. You'll see some prompts on the chairs, so you can pick those up.
So just split up and probably go sit elsewhere. It's okay. You can join your friends again. Listen. Okay, another minute and then everybody's just going to sit down on one of the chairs. No.
नहीं अभी इतने में भी कम है फिर yeah okay.
We'll take questions. Just 1 second. We're trying to organize the gang.
Why don't we sit down, guys?
Yeah, everybody take
Just
a
sit
seat.
down. Take a seat.
Take a seat and make sure that on your left and your right there's nobody that you know. That's how you should take a seat.
And no cheating.
No cheating, yeah. Everybody take a seat. Make sure that
Everyone's
there's nobody
got a
you know
seat?
on your left and right. Is there one more seat there?
Do we need more seats?
You know both of them, okay. Thanks for your honesty. Maybe sit
can go
there,
there.
where the post-its are.
Yeah.
And you can keep the
Thank you so much, Ivangi. Okay. Yeah. There are some people who are just joining in. Please come on. We'll give you an idea of what's happening. Yeah. Just pull a chair and join one gang.
Okay, now did everybody have a chance to read one example? One or two examples. If you didn't, now that you're seated in your gang, you can go up to the front and read the
You
example.
can join this gang. Oh, there's one seat there actually.
So anybody who's joined these gangs new, these groups new, please go up ahead and read what's written on the white chart paper. If you're new, just walk up to the front where it says personal, professional and read.
Guys, can I request one of you to come join there? You can come. This one here. You can join here. Thank you. Yeah, I think we have enough. Many people.
Once you guys have done, are there any questions? I think some people have a few questions. Yeah. So we'll just come around for questions before we start the next set of activities and what we're expected to do. Each one of us will split up to come and just help you with any questions that you may have. I'm saying
you guys can't hear, kya?
Can you hear me? Guys, can you hear me there?
Guys, can you hear us? Yeah.
Yeah, so what we'll do is, each one of us will split up and come around in case you have any questions, post which we will actually go around and we will get into the activity that we are going to do. Clear?
Okay, you guys have questions, doubts? You're clear with what's to be done? Okay, so this is you just came in? Okay, so I think this is a workshop that is going to predominantly focus on what will the world look like if women designed it. And we were trying to give the audience some examples. And one of the examples is that maybe, for example, cars today, they're designed for men in terms of safety protocols. And most of them actually don't even take into account a woman's body. Similarly, there are a lot of things around the world which are purely designed by men and for men. And today we are trying to figure out a way that can we change that. It's the start of something. The exercise here, Gurpreet, do you want to just explain to them?
Go to the board. If you go up to the chart papers in front of you, you will see two buckets, personal and professional, along with some roles I defined on each of the post-its. You will see roles like a young mother, single mother, a pregnant woman, a woman with a disability, a gay couple. And the idea, you will see some examples within personal and professional scenarios for some of them. Go up to the chart paper, read the examples, and then we'll explain the activity to do forward. Do we have time for now? Yeah.
We'll give you a times and then we will start writing, yeah?
What exactly should we write under these categories?
So these are examples of a particular kind of person. Say, for example, a gay couple trying to find a home in a new city. It could be an example that you know of, or somebody else's story, or it could be your story.
But should it come under like gay couple or like...
No, it is your own. It's a new section, and it could be a personal journey or a professional one. Yeah? Is that clear? Yeah? Like, for example, it could be a student's journey or your first job, and what was your story like, whether it's personal or professional. Yeah? Should we do timers? We'll do timer. Okay. We can put a timer here. On the, yeah. We'll put a timer. Yeah, yeah. No, 15 minutes. You guys are clear? Do you guys have any doubts? Looks like they're fine. Yeah.
People other than the ones
Yeah,
that we
yeah.
have. That's correct.
Yeah.
Hello? Guys, it's 12 o'clock. We will do a time check at 12:15. You have 15 minutes to do this exercise, okay?
Are you guys all clear with what's to be done? Any doubts? Okay, superb.
If you if you have any doubts, do call us.
Yeah.
We'll be here.
Okay, no. ठीक है ना? Do we need more post-its? Post-its?
No, that's fine. Just want to write for a bit. And then I think at 5 minutes, we tell them whoever has one, come up to the front and read it.
Should I give?
Read it and taste it.
Yeah.
How do we taste it?
Sticky.
Once
Or
again,
tape.
let's give them.
We have this. Oh no.
Yeah, actually, it could be both frustrated or happy. It could be really minor and small things that people miss otherwise. What makes you present to that?
No? Okay. Sorry. I'll take this. Okay.
Go and read what is there in each book and then come to the other one and tell us what's happening. We should see the story.
I don't know. Oh. Oh, this is.
Good stuff. One or two stories and then we'll give them more time to do another one. And share it so that everybody goes. Because they're going to do their inside the
Can you show me your backpack, sir? The thing is, when you're going in front of the speaker, no, just toggle this button.
Got it. Now it's on.
When you say it's on.
Thank you.
Set, it's off.
Thank you.
You can keep the over in the front pocket.
Thank you.
It will be easy for you to control.
Thank you. You hold this?
Yeah, then hold this.
Okay.
Cable, just take it from there.
Thank you.
This button.
Got it.
This button. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
She's expected every day for 365 days for everyone in the house, catering to each one's individual needs.
your mind. Guys, can we get back on our original seats, everyone? Back to where you were sitting, yeah. Not the first original, here, the groups, yeah. The groups. Go back to your groups, sit down. We have a few people which are not here, I think. Some of them are not here. There's somebody there, no? Yeah, she's. Is everybody here? Yeah. No.
Different experiences for roles that for experiences that we went through or we know of our mothers, our sisters, friends go through. What each group can do now is, amongst all the experiences that you've written in each section, pick out 3 that resonate the most with you. As a group, we can collectively agree on 3 experiences that we want to kind of build on, and we'll share next steps with you. So we'll kind of I'll pass on these stickers, and we'll mark out, yeah. Each person gets 3 stickers. You can put it on any story that you resonate with, and we'll proceed to the next part of the workshop post that. Yeah, you can also add some. You've just broken it down. Each one.
start? Okay, guys, can we settle in? Now we have all voted for problems that we want to solve. Can I have everyone here? Hi. Okay, for the next part of this exercise, you guys need to have this context. So what we're going to do is, we're going to try and solve this problem through these three pieces. We can either design an object, we can either design an experience, or we either design an application to solve a particular problem. Ideally, we'll try and do all three. And here are some examples of objects that were designed for specific reasons and predominantly for women. The first example that you see is actually for anybody who had Dexter motility in terms of a Parkinson disease, and the handle that you see is of the toothbrush is a bit fatter, so that people who cannot hold the toothbrush easily can hold it. And the second one, I think, Gurpreet, you want to talk about this?
We've all traveled solo on buses, no spots to really go to the restroom. So another solution that a bunch of different menstrual companies have designed is your pee cone or a pee on the go. So pretty much like a man, you can use this cone to use the restroom anywhere, to stand and pee essentially. The third one is actually a helmet designed for Sikh children. So if you look at your general helmets, they don't accommodate turbans. Even if you see in some cultures, women wear top knots, and helmets are not designed for any additional headdress that a culture might have. So a woman in Canada designed this helmet to accommodate a turban as well for her children. It's now patented and up for purchase.
And the second one, we're talking about experiences here. This is a toilet designed by World Health Organization for a rural village in Maharashtra. So the first round when they designed the toilets, they were like our regular cubicle toilets, right? To prevent women from having to defecate in the fields. But there was very poor adoption of those toilets. And the reason was because the toilets weren't designed for a key behavior that was very common as a social practice amongst these women, which was that they would going to the toilet in the morning was a communal activity. It was when you caught up on your gossip. It was when you socialized with the other women. It was when you had those conversations before the responsibilities of the day took up all of your time. You're doing chores, you're going to the farm, you're taking care of the family. But that was their me time. Going to the fields together, having that chat and having a chat while walking back. So then they designed this communal toilet, if you see, where it's all open. There's a hand pump in the middle. And all the cisterns are facing inward. So for urban people like us, it might actually sound like a very disgusting, idea, but this actually improved adoption drastically because it solved for a certain behavior. So when we're talking about inclusion, when we're talking about what it means to design for women, this was a unmet need that they had, and this experience solved for it, right? So we're talking about experience design over here.
We also, another experience is the event we are at. The Anita B. Grace Hopper celebration is a space for women and non-binary folk to kind of come together. Most tech conferences are designed or created for men. Most of the examples that you've added in professional spaces also address men, but spaces like this encourage discourse and conversation in women groups and non-binary groups. The third example is of an application that could be designed. So the first one that you see is that of Redbus. So if, Shalini, you want to take this? Yeah. Again, coming back to the traveling example, if you would have noticed while booking a ticket on Redbus, you're able to see that the ladies' seat is highlighted. So as a safety measure, when you're booking a ticket as well, the ladies' seat is highlighted in red, just as a prompt for the user to know that, hey, if you're a man, you can't book this seat, or if you're a woman, it's okay to be traveling to the person next to you because this is a woman as well. The next one is, again, if you're coming back from the airport late at night, we're all concerned about cab safety. Am I going to get home safe? Is the driver going to be okay? Am I going to reach home in time? There is an initiative called Go Pink Cabs, which is a cab service led primarily by women drivers. So as customers, as users of the service, as women, we have the added layer of safety that, okay, a woman is dropping me home, and it's also empowering for the woman driver as well. It's not a conventional role to see a taxi driver who's a woman, so we're also encouraging and empowering that sector of society. And Salt?
Yeah, so I think SALT is a very interesting app that is designed by women and for women, which is about financial inclusion. So most of us actually are not really taught about money, and money is not an easy conversation for even women to have. And this app actually caters to that need and helps women save in a way that they like to save. So maybe they save in smaller amounts, how they are buying, whether if you go going and buying groceries and there's some amount of money that's left and change is left, you can save that money. So it's a phenomenal app that allows you to save in terms of how women actually shop, how women look at money, and also a lot of education is being built on this app so that women are financially empowered. And that's a phenomenal application which is solving that problem.
So keeping kind of these examples in mind, so in each of our groups, we've highlighted a few experiences with these dots. What if we took 3 of those experiences that have the most dots and solve for either an object, experience, or an application for each of these? So as a group, let's discuss if we were to take a scenario that we've described and come up with a solution to overcome that problem, what could that be? Could that be an object, an experience, or an application? Just do one? Okay. Just one.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can either solve for an object, right?
Okay. So let's not do 3 then. Let's pick one scenario from each group. And as a group, let's collectively agree, do we want to design an object, experience, or application for that one particular scenario that we've picked? We'll spend 15 minutes ideating together. And the next 15 minutes, we'll kind of present to each other what that possible solution could be. Yeah. Yeah, so now let's do this instead. Since we have three groups, let's combine each other as 2 groups.
No. In a group, oh, sorry.
Sorry.
I'll just add a small variation. In case you guys can't decide which is that one thing you want to design an object, a solution, or an experience, application or experience for, pick 2, split yourself into 2 groups. One group design for one group design for the other. Because you're a big enough group, right? So maybe 4 and 3, 3 and 3 like that. So you can pick 2 ideas from your set of ideas, and one group designs an object, one group designs an application, or one group designs an object, one group designs an experience, right? Yeah. So that will give you more coverage also.
Okay, guys, the team behind, you guys will start. Shall we start with you guys presenting? You get 2 minutes each to present your ideas. Gurpreet, do you want to give the mic?
Check.
Right, so our problem statement was that basically we don't feel safe traveling alone at night. We have to like send our live location to our flatmates, to our friends, to our parents. Whenever we're going, like somebody in our team was like traveling for GHC and I had to take a bus at 1 a.m. Right, so somebody in our group had to like travel to GHC and take a bus at 1 a.m. So that's where the problem originated from. So we came up with a bunch of solutions actually. The first one was a suggestion for Google Maps. If anybody works in Google Maps here, this is a suggestion for you. So we wanted Google Maps to have a wrapper over it. So if you are a woman traveling, you can also check if you have a destination, put a different destination on the map. So you can see usually women travelers, what mode of transport they use to go to that destination, what route do they usually take to reach that destination, and what time of the day do they usually travel to this destination. So it gives us a better idea of how safe it is to reach there and like, etc., etc. Google Maps, I see you. Right. The second one was educational modules in school for men, specifically, to like educate them about what safety issues women face, young women working professionals, etc., etc. So they are also aware about their habits, which consciously or subconsciously make women feel unsafe. For example, somebody gave an example that whenever she's like going on the road and she sees a group of men lounging around on the road, she feels unsafe. But if she would see a group of women lounging around on the road, she would feel very safe traveling around, going through that road. So it's just a thing to put into their heads. Which one?
Menstrual education in your college.
Oh, yeah, the story.
So like in my college, I'm a mechanical engineer, so I had 120 guys in my class and me. So I had a story where like I had got my periods and the 120 guys got me chocolates during my lunch break. And because they didn't know if chocolate was even effective because they have only heard from their girlfriends and all, the next week we had a seminar and all 120 guys attended it to know about menstruation and menstrual cycle and everything. As like support to me, like even that, yeah. So I think that is a very good way of inclusivity. The other two ways in which we thought about our issue was like building an app. So this app would be, it's a common app for every other apps. Like a lot of people haven't heard about Go Pink. So it's a women drivers app. So if like in a, like her, she said, in a city like Bangalore, when people have, like it has not come up much in the city. So she was saying if we have an app where women have reviewed it and it's in the app, people will get to know about it. Like Meesho, it's like a word of mouth thing. So we were planning on having an application, an app where everything is included. Not just the cab rides, but the hotel rides, everything, where the women only review it. So you will get to know the women's perspective. And after like thousands or some women review it, we'll get a stamp or sticker of the app. So a pink sticker, where our ma'am suggested you try stickers. It's a okay, yeah. But yeah, so we were thinking, so when someone sees the sticker, they'll know that, yeah, 1,000 women have come here. Even if it's a trip or if it's a cab or if it's a hotel, they'll know it's women approved. So it would be much safer for us to go there. Yeah, and the other last one we thought was about corporate partnership.
Time up, guys. Thank you so much. Lovely presentation, guys.
Yeah, so the first problem that we try to solve is anything related to women's health. They do a lot of moral policing in the hospitals where they're like, only if you're married you can do it, like pap smear and stuff like that. So we have like two solutions for it. The first one, of course, is to educate people, which is like an experience where we educate the old doctors about how things have changed. Just like an example that you gave with the heart attack stuff, like similar to that, like we educate them how the society is now, so that we don't miss out on, health. And another solution that we have for this is an application. Like in Practo, we can have a filter, something called no judgment filter, that can filter out the doctors that, don't restrict us. So yeah, that's two solutions. So we also have a couple solutions for another very important problem.
Yeah, so how many of you have tried to express an opinion during a meeting and been, cut off by a man? Okay, not just by a man, but it happens. Just somebody else will cut you off and you're really shy to start off again, right? So we thought that we'd have an application in the boardrooms where there could just be a tablet on the table. So everybody's sitting in front of this and they can press when they need to speak. Like they just click on the tab when they need to speak, and on the screen it would show like, so currently Morris is speaking, and then there's a timer also, like he's speaking and speaking and speaking. He could also see that he's speaking for so long. Maybe there could be prompts sometimes, like maybe you need a water break, and then so the people who have also pressed, who want to speak next, they'll just queue up on the screen that next, like next in queue is Ramesh and Linda and whoever, And then we also thought we could add a section on the side which is anonymous comments, because sometimes it could also just be that people are shy. Also, sometimes women's opinions aren't taken very seriously, so you might just not want to speak it. You might want to leave it as an anonymous comment, so it's taken seriously. So this is an application that I thought we could design, and yeah. So there are some more things we wanted to add onto this.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. Lovely presentation. Thank you. Woo!
We'll share for the other. Where's the rest of us? Yeah. Discussing for a second problem. They didn't get the paper, so they're writing it now. Just verbalize it. Just speak it out. Okay, so hi everyone. The problem that we've picked, we have two problems, right? One of them is related to how a married woman's expectations are set in the family, where she's tirelessly working day and night and not receiving enough recognition, and the way the in-laws treat her as well, and all sorts of that, right? One solution that we've come up with is an application that tackles with most of the household chores, also specifically cooking, where it keeps track of all your groceries in the fridge, right? It comes up with your dish ideas, takes the preferences as well. Someone's allergic to something, takes that in as well. And also, sends a reminder to your phones or apps, like let's say the husband in the house goes out to pick groceries, for example. So he gets a list sent out to him through SMS or WhatsApp that these are the groceries that are out, go and fetch them, like, as a reminder. So that the woman in the house does not need to take care of, okay, this is done now, can you please go get it? Or she can do it herself, right? We've also added, the dish that we've decided that could also have cooking instructions, so if the man wants to try, if he doesn't know cooking, right? As well as, one thing we wanted is everyone, complains about what's being made. So we got a suggestion, we could do a poll that says, aaj khane mein kya hai, and everyone gets a say, and if, like, whichever gets the majority vote, that's going to win and that's going to be made. And we also thought of, a few other chores like cleaning the house, dishes, all of these could also be put up. And let's say I could take up, hey, I want to do this today. Someone else could take up, I'm going to do this today. So you're also accountable for the task you've picked up. So essentially, this removes the burden of all these tiny decisions, which actually mount up to a lot of mental pressure for the woman.
Yeah, so I think the next problem that we were looking into is for married women who basically like have in-laws who are not very well exposed to the outer world, and they mostly feel that, you know, women are expected to work in the kitchen and all those kinds of stuff, and they're not really considerate about the fact that both the men and the women are working in the same scenarios. So for that, one thing that we wanted to, this is basically based on the experience thing, so one thing that we should ideally change is that, I mean, so all these people are very well educated to actually go and look into the social media, the reels and Instagram, WhatsApp and all those things. So we should try to modify the reel suggestions which are coming to them, which is not just something to related to what they have been watching since long ago. So it should ideally tell like how the modern society looks like, and basically like the Delhi soap opera, right? So most of them you'll watch on Sony, like Nagin and all those kinds of series. Just show you that, you know, women are supposed to dress up very well, go inside the kitchen, cook, and like come and like, I mean, serve food to all the people around. So that is something what we really need to change, because they are into daily soap opera. So we should maybe like modify the content to actually consider these kinds of things, what is actually happening in the society. And again, one other thing that we should do is,
Yeah, we go to the next idea, guys.
All right. I just want to talk about the problem first. So this is when my mom had to turn down a promotion. She's been turning it down for almost 10 years because she wants to focus on her kids, their growth, their studies, and also because of the familial pressure. Currently, it's good where she stays. It's nearby home. So going for promotion means that she'll have to go outside state. So that is the almost impossible problem that we took to solve. So not just promotions, also like women focusing on career growth in general. So even if I'm working at remote, working in 9-10 hours, I'm like, how are you going to manage your family afterwards? Not even married. So I'll hand over to discuss the solutions.
The main problem the mom faced here is that she had to relocate for the promotion, to take the promotion. So imagine a situation if the dad got the promotion and he had to relocate. That was simple. He just relocated. The mom and the children still stayed there. So we considered this case. The first, as imaginative as we could be, our first solution would be a legislative rule which says if you are allowed to choose your location, if your partner stays there, you can be easily relocated there. There should be, the process should be very easy. That is one thing. And the other, there should be an application for support groups where women or men who all faced such problems, they can come, speak about it. And I think it will be better for the women who are facing it right now to be heard, to be hearing it from the women who faced it earlier, because they tell how they dealt with it in their time, how they lost 10 years of their professional life dealing with such problems. And it's also easier for the men or any other partner, like for the men to hear other men taking a stand for it. So they won't be actually like, the stigmas will be reduced because they're hearing from the other people who are facing it. So that is our two solutions, and we couldn't find a concrete solution for this. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for sharing such innovative ideas.
Can we ask everybody to join us? We would love for you guys to come and join for a photograph. Our participants. Yeah? You want to say thank you? Yes.
So thank you guys for sharing your experiences and your ideas. We're going to build off of it. So Three Big Things Studio, Three Big Things and Small Town Folks will continue doing some version of this and exploring this space because it's something that we are interested in. And our first experience today has gone so well. We were so charged up by the sassy responses that we got and the imaginative solutions that we got towards the end that we're going to be running a few more of these. Do look out for them on LinkedIn when we post and stuff like that. We will kind of converge over a period of time. So look out for what happens to what if women designed the world, right? Just keep watching out for that. And thanks for your participation.